The content can be organized into the following sections. Introduction to song-in-head syndrome. Description of the phenomenon where a song gets stuck in one's head for an extended period. Introduction of song-in-head syndrome as a recognized condition. Explanation of the brain's memory mechanism. Discussion on why the brain holds onto certain information, even when it becomes repetitive or intrusive. Mention of Roger Chaffin's perspective on the brain's eagerness to retain information. Evolutionary perspective. Exploration of how the brain's ability to remember information may have been advantageous in ancestral times. Comparison to how students and musicians use this ability for learning and memorization. Neuroscientific basis. Explanation of how the auditory cortex is involved in both listening to music and recalling it mentally. Mention of Robert Zator's research on brain imaging studies related to musical memory. Role of the frontal lobe. Discussion on how the frontal lobe determines which thoughts become conscious. Mention of Susan Ball's perspective on the influence of fatigue or depression on intrusive thoughts. Difficulty in suppression. Explanation of the pink elephant phenomenon, where attempting to suppress a thought leads to its persistence. Insight from Susan Ball on the challenge of suppressing unwanted thoughts. Personal experiences and observations. Anecdotal experiences shared by Stephen Brown regarding persistent musical fragments in his mind. Discussion on the phenomenon of chunking and its role in memory, as explained by Caroline Palmer. Application in education. Example of using music to enhance memory retention in educational settings, as described by Sandra Calvert. Historical perspective on music. Proposal from Leon James suggesting that music may have originated as a method of preserving and transmitting historical information. Insight into the societal role of music in uniting and standardizing thought processes. Conclusion. Summarization of the various perspectives on the persistence of songs in the mind and its potential evolutionary and societal significance.